chance at Dale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man, challenge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Time is running out on Dan Cole's round. Let's go to 15. Bob?
Yeah, John Cole has been visibly angry. He's been talking to himself quite a bit. And it doesn't get any easier here on the par 3 15th hole at Minnesota National. This hole is guarded by two bunkers with a big tree in front of the green. Very challenging tee shot. He's opted to hit a 5-iron here. Cole, unreal pants, fluttering in the wind, mumbling to himself, I've got to have this shot. Hooty-hoo! Ooh, that's very well struck. Spinning through the air like a J.J. McCarthy pass. It's right on line. Looking good. Oh, my! It's in! I can't believe what I just saw. A hole-in-one for Cole at the 15th, and he's pointing at patrons in the gallery shouting, you doubted me, you doubted me, you doubted me, and now he's embracing his son, Peter. What a moment between father and son here at the 15th at Minnesota National.
Later.
For the first time all day, the Thunder forced the punt, 4th and 15, and Deuce takes the long snapping honors. Deuce snaps it. He snaps it to the up man. It's Robbie, and Robbie looks surprised. He hasn't seen the football all day, and Robbie's flag is snatched. What was he thinking? Now there's a man with a backwards beret running out on the field while talking on the phone. He's yelling at Deuce, and yes, Deuce did just yell back, you're insane, because he tried to snap it to the up man. The Thunder give up the ball deep in their own territory. Not sure what Deuce was thinking there.
Get that one. You always love that one.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Yada, what do you got? Greetings, good afternoon. I'm Common. He's not Tenneby. If he was Tenneby, why does he look like Brett Blakemore? That's who it is. It's Brett Blakemore filling in for Tenneby. Hold on, there's a speaker in here I got to turn down. You know, when I talk about poised, polished, and professional, that's an example of that's not what this show is about. We're kind of loosey-goosey. We just kind of, I would say, fly by the seat of our pants. When speaking of flying, we just wing it. You know, whatever. I'm a radio gardener. I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole. Bitten by a radioactive program director all those years ago. Ouch, Mark Ginther bit me, and then I became the Common Man. We're radio gardeners. We just throw down some seeds, little soil, little water, little sunshine. Can you grow grass? Is what we'd like to say. Can you still hear that?
I can still. It might be your headset, maybe. Or?
Well, but I don't even have it up that loud, so I don't know how it could be. We'll just wing it.
Yeah.
So good to have you here. Tend to be out today. One of his children one of his childs has I think some kind of a field trip he had to go on. Did you ever go on field trips when you were in school?
Of course, they're the best.
You know, we did a field trip. This is the greatest ever. 5th grade. Mr. Kaiser. It was the first male teacher I ever had. You know, it seemed like back in the olden days, you know, back when there was black and white TVs and we hadn't had a man on the moon yet, we're just planning on it. It seemed like they were almost all women. You know, they were female. And then the first teacher I ever had was Mr. Kaiser. And he asked us, what do you want to do for your field trip this year? And all the boys said, we want to go to a Twins game, never thinking it was going to happen. He said, well, if the girls agree, that's what we'll do. And the girls said, sure, why not? How cool was it to go to a Twins matinee instead of going to school? I'll never forget it as long as I don't remember who we played. It was Twins, obviously, at the old Metropolitan Stadium. And we boarded a bus and we drove down there. And Mr. Kaiser let us run around, but he had binoculars, so he kept an eye on us. And, of course, he was in left field foul territory. And me and a bunch of my buddies, we went over to right field and sat in the bleachers over there. And we had
by the trash bag.
Well, no. What we did was we made a sign. You know, back in elementary school, you would have a cart that would come in that would have these big rolls. There'd be 4 or 5 different rolls of paper that were, they looked like giant paper towel dispensers, and they were different colors of paper to make posters and such like that for artwork. So I remember we did a red one, and we wrote on there. This was back in, now, you ever eat Wheaties?
I know what it is.
Breakfast of Champions.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to be on the cover.
And their slogan used to be, better eat your Wheaties, or you didn't eat your Wheaties, or whatever, right? You know, because it makes you grow big and strong. So this is where maybe the negativity started for me. I was in charge of designing the sign, and I said, hey, Harmon, meaning Harmon Killebrew, you didn't have your Wheaties. Meaning I was anticipating him to struggle, or maybe even wanting him to struggle, because I was taking cheap shots back when I was in 5th grade. It was the greatest field trip, and that was maybe, if you're highlighting the best days of your life, day that I was married, I guess. Got to say that, right?
You got it.
Day my boys were born, that comes up next. And then after that, it might have been 5th grade. Could have been 6th grade track and field day when I won the blue ribbon for the sack race. That was great. Of course, then I was devastated when I went to 7th grade to try for track and field and had my burlap bags. And he said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm here to try out for track and field. What event do you do? I'm in the sack race. He goes, we don't do that in real track and field. Devastated. But anyway, so I went from it was the best of times to the worst of times, just in about a 6-month period. But, here's another thing, what a radio gardener does. An architect, most other radio shows, they have a slew of topics to get to, and they know exactly what order to get them in. I never know what to do. There's plenty to talk about. The Twins won. They've won 2 in a row now. National Hockey League Stanley Cup Final started. Looks like a real shootout, a lot of offense. It looks like goaltending was a rumor. 5-4 final. The Las Vegas Golden Knights are up 1-0. NBA final start tonight. I'm curious to see how this plays out. Bodega Cat and the New York Knickerbockers will take on Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. And then, of course, the quarterback controversy. Otis continues. So many topics to get to. I don't know where to begin. So I think, did Teneby tell you we have this thing called Wheel of Topic?
Yeah.
Why don't you spin it?
All right.
Wheel of Topics!
I'd like to talk.
It's just random?
Yeah, it just randomly lands on one of those topics. You didn't have to load them in. It just knows by osmosis.
Golf game.
Oh!
What'd you shoot today?
76 trombones. Do.
Where'd we play?
Prestwick at Wedgwood in Woodbury.
Where'd you hit it on? One.
Right up the gut.
How far from the green were you?
Had a 9-iron in my hand.
Second shot?
Hit it to 20 feet.
Then what?
Made the putt. I'm on pace to shoot 54. Now, birdie on the first hole is often considered bad luck. That's what Inside Information guy said. Now, full disclosure, I did an experiment today. I'm 7 years old.
And you're transitioning.
Well, and I'm transitioning. And so I said, now I played white tee on the first tee, and I remember I was going to try to play all gold tees, the senior tees. White tees at Prestwick are 63, 58. Gold tees are 58 something, about 500 yards less. And at 67, I'm a senior. I can go to Perkins and I can get the deal. Matter of fact, you know what was really cool was being able to go to Baby Brother Peter's basketball games and get the senior price. Because, seniors change depending what business it is. Sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's 62, sometimes it's 65. I qualify for all of them. at 6'7", right? I had, again, somebody tell me yesterday, I just love this. Do they just say this to be nice? Like, be honest with me. If you did not know me and saw me and said, guess his age, would you say he looks 67 or would you say 77 or 57? Most people say I don't look as old as I am. But do people just do that to be nice?
I think you've got at least 5 years younger looking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, are you just saying,
No.
I'm not going to tell you to go home or not take you golfing today. We got to run. Matter of fact, what are we going to do can we do what PA does and just re-rack an interview between 2:30 and 3? Because we've got a 4 o'clock tee time across town.
God, I can't wait. I don't know what we can do.
What did PA, did he have any interviews?
We had Finch.
Well, should we just re-rack Finch's interview with PA?
Think about it.
How long did it run?
Then we'll be able to hit some balls for the round.
Yeah.
starts.
How long did it run?
I think they had him the whole first hour.
Well, then we can just leave at 2.
Yeah. Tell Rosie to go home. Is he coming in?
I think.
Oh.
I guess. I don't know. So I decided.
What'd you hit for your second shot at 18?
I hit a 4-wood. I got a 4-wood and a 7-wood in my bag. I've wasted 10, 12 years.
Changes the game.
Well, because I didn't think I could hit a fairway wood. I was feeling sorry for myself. No, you just gave up too quick. Hit 2 or 3 bad fairway woods, can't play them anymore. Go back to the hybrids. Nobody plays hybrids anymore. They're basically becoming extinct. Here's what I did. I said, I'm going to play all gold tees the rest of the way. Second hole didn't hit a very good drive, but instead of having hybrid into that green, I got 134 into the green.
Incredible.
How nice is it after 134? Now, here's the thing. 134 is a lot easier than 174, but if you still put a bad swing on it, it doesn't matter. I shanked it dead right. It went over the other side of the carpet. I made a double on that hole. Then I made a par on 3, and I made a double on 4, and then made a bogey on 5. And I'm thinking, well, playing the gold tees doesn't make any difference. From the 5th hole on, I played even par.
Wow.
I had 4 birdies.
Wow.
I didn't even play particularly well. So now it's like, well, have I made and I'm about to use a 4-letter word that I never use when it comes to golf.
Okay. Oh, I know where you're going.
Have I made the game too easy? Is it too easy for me? And I guess I really shouldn't. I apologize to the golf god. I didn't mean easy. Have I made it less difficult? Because I wasn't even hitting, obviously you shoot a 76, whatever tees, you're hitting some good golf shots.
Yeah.
But I hit a lot of poor shots, really never made a putt to speak of. Chunked a wedge. I was still able to. So
Are you playing golds this afternoon?
No, I think I'm going to do that on that course.
You might want to.
Yeah, I might want to, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue the transitioning process. And what I mean is a transition from the white tees to the gold. I'll just continue to make my own combo tees. If I'm playing a 400-yard par 4, I don't want to hit 100. I was talking to a couple of the salespeople here. Like Metzen can play really well. I go, if you're playing a 410-yard par 4 and you hit a good drive, not even your best, what do you got into the green? 52 or 54-degree wedge. You know what I got from 410? 17-degree hybrid.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
And I'm hitting my drive just as well as he, just not as far. I don't have anything to prove to anybody anymore. I know where I've been, I know where I'm going, I know where I'm at. And I'm stuck inside a mobile with the Memphis Blues again is what I am. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll peek at the purple. I hope you have something purple related because I got it.
Okay, I'll try to find something.
We'll do a peek at the purple brought to you by Affordable Electric. Rock Talk. 534 at 1 o'clock. You put together some questions.
Okay.
Can we tell you about that? And then 1:15, it's Rock Talk with Brian Oak. And then the legendary one, Mark Rosen, will join us at 2 o'clock. All of that and so much more to get to right here on the Common Man Program on the Fan.
Great shows to Treasure Island this year, including Gabriel Iglesias, July 31st, Joe Bonamassa, August 15th, and Snoop Dogg, September 5th. Get complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 past here on the Common Man Program. The Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line, someone says, if shooting your age was a goal, at what age do you think you could realistically do it? I can do it now. I'm going to keep playing the senior tees at Prestwick for a while. I shot a 76 and I didn't hit more than half a dozen good shots today. If I'm hitting the ball like I'm capable of, I can shoot mid-60s.
Does it feel like a whole...
Do you think that's insane for me? I mean, you've seen me play. You've seen me where the club has been my brush, the ball has been my paint, the course is my canvas. You watched me take Prestwick apart.
I think I've seen you at your best and your worst on the court.
Well, it's you've seen me walk off the golf course. Yes. Hey, it was fun. You guys, where are you going? I'm leaving. I'd rather go watch the second half of Kitties. Kitties were playing somebody. Maybe it was the Vikings.
Yep.
I'd rather watch the second half of the game with Deuce than continue to hack the ball around. That's just the truth of the matter. I'm sorry.
But no, I think you've got a whole new lease on life with this transitioning phase you're doing.
Yeah, I think I do.
I mean, the sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned.
I've already elevated my scrotum.
All right.
With a pair of white athletic socks. That was according to my surgeon when he did my hernia. The only thing bigger than my ego is my prostate. It's about the size of a watermelon. Seedless though, of course. Do you like watermelon? How do they? What the hell is wrong with? Oh, that's right. You're another one of those guys that you don't.
Yeah.
Where are you on the food chain? The worst is Cove, right? And then it's you and Tennessee.
I think me and Cove are next door neighbors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, so you're even worse.
Yeah.
Because Tennessee. And then isn't there a fourth here that's got some? And I don't mean to be mean, and I'm not making fun of it. I feel bad actually. Because,
I don't like it, so it's fine.
But let me ask you a question. How the hell did they get those seeds out of that watermelon? Because there's no, I don't see a hole in there where they sucked them out with a hose. And the only way you can grow watermelons is from watermelon seeds. And where do you get the seeds? They come from inside the watermelon. Can you grow watermelon without seeds? I don't know how you can. These are the things that keep me up at night. They truly do. Here's what else keeps me up at night. Having to fill Peek at the Purple five days a week, 12 months out of the year. Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. When the temperatures climb, your air conditioner works OT, overtime, and so does your electrical panel. If your breakers trip, wow, man, it's like a whole multicolored galaxy of uppers and downers and screamers and laughers. If your breakers trip when the AC kicks on or your lights dim during peak heat, your system just might be overloaded. Affordable Electric handles panel upgrades, dedicated circuits, and troubleshooting to keep your home running safely all summer long. All summer long. 612-331-VOLT. Get it? VOLT, V-O-L-T. Or visit affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. They are, they're shockingly affordable. Please tell me you found something Viking related. I guess we could talk quarterback controversy. Just
that never
gets said
old.
For the past.
Did you hear what J.J. McCarthy said in a presser after OTAs?
Oh, we had a news conference today, right? Oh, did you have something else? Because
I've got something.
The Teasley character was in. How long did that press conference run today? Maybe we could re-wrap that.
Yeah.
How long did that go? Do you have any?
I don't know, but I'll find it.
Find out how long that ran.
I'm not in as tune with Vikings press conferences as I once was.
Yes, nor am I. Well, I'll clear it with Abbott. I'm being serious. We may as well rerun it. The other shows rerun. Well, yeah, I know the other shows rerun re-rack interviews. Why can't we?
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Of course, generally they re-rack interviews from their own shows. But this isn't even an interview. This is a presser.
This is important A-section news.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. No, I don't have.
What's the number in your head for today?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
I'd really like to get to 85, maybe a little lower.
Yeah.
But
you know what? I can get you to 85.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Skip the fourth hole. It's a par 3. It'll cut 5 shots off the round. Hey-oh! Funny stuff. What did you have Vikings related?
So I found this, and maybe this is off of the press conference today, but you know how every team has this in all the core 4 sports. They have a million different websites that report on things. Well, here's one article that I found. The headline, it took 1 day for Nolan Teasley to earn his first major win with the Vikings.
What was that?
Major win. This is from the Viking age.
Of course, so in other words, and this is very Ducky and Bunny. It sounds like to me
100%. But I can't believe that this is a huge W. Here's what it says: having the ability to make roster decisions without being vetoed from other members of the organization was always going to be very important in making sure that the new Vikings GM Nolan Teasley can perform his job at the highest level. Like, well, yeah, he's the GM. It says, thankfully, it seems the Vikings will be allowing Teasley to do just that, according to Mark Wilf. Both Teasley and KOC will report to ownership. However, Minnesota's new GM will have the final say when it comes to the roster. And I'm thinking, isn't that what every GM has? Isn't that their job?
Well, yeah, but I think what's happened here, and maybe I'm the cause of this, because I've been beating the drum for a long time that I feel as though I kind of want my coach to have, I guess you don't, is it wrong to say I'd rather have the coach have the final decision?
That's how you should
GM should just worry about passing out the keys to the executive washroom, parking spots. Do you have, or do you have underground parking or not? The general manager, and again, and so, and I do know this, and this is from a good source. I've done this bit on the air. I've discussed this on the air on a number of occasions. I'm from a source that I trust implicitly, or is it explicitly?
Either one works.
I don't think either one works. I think only one works.
I know what you mean.
Let's go with implicitly.
All right.
Can you look up the word implicitly? Implicitly. Well, that's the name of a car. It's the Infinity Implicity. Find one at your nearest Dodge dealer. Implicity.
Implicitly?
Implicitly.
Here's this.
Implicitly.
I don't know why it's a whisper.
Implicitly.
Is an adverb that means something is suggested or understood without being directly stated.
Yeah, I guess I've suggested that. My source tells me that when O'Connell signed his extension, part of the deal was I need to have more say in personnel. And if you saw the draft picks by Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, you would want the same thing. So does he? I guess at the end of the day, someone does have to have that. There's a tiebreaker. If you go, I want J.J. McCarthy, somebody else doesn't. I guess the general manager, if he doesn't, he gets the final say. But then, doesn't the head coach kind of know his offense? Doesn't he kind of know? Like with B-Flow, I think everybody gives B-Flow carte blanche, right? B-Flow runs a defense that apparently is different than everybody else's. It's complicated and it's different. And every player, when you hear players talk, we've interviewed players out of training camp. You talk to B-Flow, when they talk about B-Flow, they go, oh, he just does so many things that are different. You have so many different responsibilities. So then don't you want, general manager goes, well, look at this guy's 40 at the combine. Look what he did in the 3-cone drill. I think we should draft him. But then if your defensive coordinator says, well, the 3-cone drill is fine. He did do a great job, and he's really good at his 40, but I need somebody that can stop a 65 toss power trap on a regular basis. So maybe because there has been some questions in the fandom and in the media about who's making the decisions here, especially after what Kwesi did. I think the Wills wanted to clear the air and say it's the general manager. Now, just because they said that, does that really mean that's what it is? And we heard the words collaboration a lot from the last regime, but I do think there'll be some collaboration. I think Teasley and O'Connell will probably work pretty well together, I would think, right? I think if I'm the general manager and my coach really wants to go to the mattresses for a particular player, I'm going to go, okay, but it's on you if it doesn't work, right? And then you go from there. I don't know. Let's do this. And I get it. Someone just said, Coaches are more short-sighted. They're trying to keep their jobs, and I get that, right? But, the future is now. So I think most teams want to win right now, even in ownership particularly. We'll break. We'll come back. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, it's affordable-electric.com.
KFAN text line. Just let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard text message and day rate supply.
Tennis on this field trip, do you think he's having like Crustables for lunch? You ever had a Crustable? Or are they called Uncrustables?
Uncrustable, I think.
You ever had one?
I've not.
So you don't like peanut butter and jelly at all?
Peanut butter, the smell of it is just repulsive to me. I can't do it. It's disgusting. I wish I was normal. Trust me. Life would be much easier that way. Yeah, it sucks.
Wow.
I know.
You don't know what you're missing.
I know.
It's my favorite part of going to Hazeltine National Golf Course. They got a little halfway house right off of 4th green before you get to 5T. Or my hole-in-one hole off of 13 green. I have a hole-in-one out at Hazeltine. They got the refrigerator, and there's Uncrustables, strawberry and peanut butter, or grape and peanut butter. I always grab 2. I'm going to grab a couple. We're going to be out there. Tenneby and I, you're probably in on June 8th, right? Do you know that yet?
Probably. That would be my guess.
Tenneby and I are both out for a lot of owls here. The LPGA KPMG PGA Championship will be played out at Hazeltine National Golf Course and Media Days on that Wednesday. Or that Monday. So we're going to hit knockdown, punch, cut, fade, draw. So you'll probably be in for us. And,
June 8th, you say?
June 8th. Do you know it's the 3rd of June? Another sleepy, dusty Delta day. My brother was picking cotton. No, I was out picking cotton, and my brother was baling hay. That's Bobby Gentry did a song called Ode to Billy Joe. Are you familiar with the song?
I'm not.
Ode to Billy Joe. And I've listened to that song hundreds of times. Listen to the lyrics closely. I could recite the entire song. I could do a Dylan duet to it. It's about a 4.5-minute song, though. It's a very haunting song.
You want to do a Dylan duet today?
And after listening to it, I don't think anybody owed Billy Joe anything. There you go. It took you a while to register. Did you get it?
I got it.
Do you know who Arena Sabalenka is? You heard of her? Sabalenka, I think is how it's pronounced.
I don't think so.
She's a top-ranked tennis player.
Okay.
And she just lost in the quarterfinals of the French Open today. Here's her quote. Just want to quit tennis right now. Swap the word golf for tennis. How many times have you said that?
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Hundreds of times.
I just want to quit golf right now. I almost cried today.
No.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I shanked that shot, and then I hit another bad one. I'm playing senior tees, and I'm still struggling. But I had 2 doubles today. Shot 76. So anyway, did you watch the hockey game last night? This is where Tenneby shines. He's a big hockey guy. He's the Jolly Green Giant. So if I ask him, he can break it down. You're a hockey guy. Please tell me you watched the game last night.
I'll tell you that I had it on.
You did have it on. So you weren't locked into it.
I wasn't watching pass for pass, stride for stride, but I had it on. I knew what the score was at all times.
Right.
Barn burner of a game.
Anything? Yeah. I mean, my guess it was. You get to this point of the season, there's no mailing it in anymore now, right? I mean, if you've been skating at half speed, you're not doing it now. So
Kevin Gord continues to get vindicated.
How so?
Well, Carolina goes up 2-0.
That's a dangerous lead.
It all falls apart.
The most dangerous lead.
They should have just kept it scoreless.
Well, actually, yeah, maybe keeping it scoreless would have been the best thing to do. That's like, I made a birdie on the first hole today.
Yes.
I should try to stay birdie free as long as possible. So I should probably do. That's what happened there. So you can't really help me out on the game. You can't break it down for me at all.
I mean, I can break down in general what happened, but if you ask me about the tripping call in the middle of the first period,
right,
I might be screwed. But it just seemed like Vegas just did not want to go away, no matter, in the third period, it was basically tied for the majority of the time. But just it was high-level stuff, and then the winner, too, from Hurdle was a thing of beauty. So it's going to be a long series, and this is only the second loss Carolina's had this playoffs, which is insane, because they swept 2 of the 3 rounds, and the third one they won in 5. So it'll be a long series, but this Vegas team continues to impress.
This is Purple Gal. She's a regular listener, has been for a long, long time, and a regular text messenger. She was even back in the days of emails, and so we appreciate her patronage. But she says, I'm just as fussy as you, Brett. I hate peanut butter, and mayonnaise is slimy and icky. And cottage cheese reminds me of baby spit.
I completely agree.
God, I love cottage cheese. I could drink it out of a straw.
Ugh.
I could mix mayonnaise, peanut butter, and cottage cheese all together in a blender. Just the thought of that are you getting physically ill right now?
I mean, it makes my stomach churn a little bit.
Does it really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to throw up, but it's like, ugh.
God, I love mayonnaise.
That smell is repulsive.
No, you put, thing about Billy Joe, though, McAllister, is he never had a lick of sense past the biscuits, please. We can do a Dylan duet. Let's do it to Ode to Billy Joe. Since that song is, the very first line mentions it's the 3rd of June. It was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. I was out picking cotton and my brother was baling hay.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard that one.
Oh, it's a banger. Well, it's really not a banger, but it's I talked to Brian Oak about it during Rock Talk. It's as brilliantly written and crafted song as you'll ever hear.
Here's a text from Ed in St. Paul. It says, Common, please put Brett to work editing the podcast. Can we get a weather forecast to Thunder Island? Your thoughts? Are you up for that today? Are you mentally ready for that?
Here's the question. You have to edit out licensed music. Do you have to do that after you get off the air? Because if you do, you won't make the tea time, so we're not going to do it. But if you can do it as the show goes on, then I would do a weather forecast.
I can do it as the show goes on.
I'd like to do a Dylan duet or two as well. Well, the people demand it.
Yeah.
They miss it.
Especially if Rosie's here and I don't have to,
Yeah, that's it when Rosen's here.
Yeah, I can edit as much to my heart's desire.
Because I'm sure Rosen's eyes were glued on the hockey game last night, so he could probably tell us more about that. I have to admit, I'm caught up in Wembyanomania. That's what we call it, Wembyanomania. I'm hooked. I can't tell you the last time I watched an NBA Finals. It was probably back. This is how long ago it was. You familiar with a guy named Larry Bird?
I am.
How about Magic Johnson?
Heard of him.
Kevin McHale? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, that's the last time I've ever watched an NBA Finals. It doesn't. And that, and again, I know I've probably missed some great basketball that way over the years. I'm sure I have. I'm sure I've missed. Because like Jordan, he was winning his in the 90s. I'm imagine I watched some of that. I suppose I did. Yeah, because I did watch. I remember watching Barkley lose a couple in the final. So I guess I just don't recall much of it, right? My memory for those kinds of things aren't real good. But and the NBA is, I think the basketball community would argue that the product is better than it's ever been, right? And I think when two teams roll up they don't have any sleeves on their jerseys, but you know what I mean. When they roll up their sleeves and get down on it, when they do that and the game is played at a high level, it's like a symphony. And I do like the game of basketball. I like the concept of it. But I get disillusioned by the lack of effort by a lot of the modern day players. And they admit it. They say it. They say it in news conferences. Long season. Gosh, just don't know how much we want to play these games. But like, even though those Western Conference Finals games, the scores were a little far apart, but they were still competitive basketball games. The Knickerbockers had no trouble breezing through their side of the bracket on the Eastern Conference. The Cavs, well, a prime example was, here's why, if you're like me and you're not a fan of the current game of basketball, game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals is a prime example of one team just saying, we're out. Mm-hmm. We're down 3-0. We know the team on the other side of the floor, they're better than us. Well, they're actually not on the other side of the floor. Why is it that in football they're on opposite sides of the field? In hockey, they're on opposite sides of the rink, aren't they?
They're not, actually.
Oh, they're not in hockey. That's right. They're on the same. But so hockey, they're on the same. Well, there's not a bit because so hockey, they're on the same side of the rink. In basketball, they're on the same side of the court. Why is football on the other? Maybe it's too many players, right? You couldn't fit 153. What's 53 and 53?
106.
106. Sorry, Detroit math. You know how we learned to count Detroit? 0-1, 0-2, 0-3. And then baseball, they're on the other sides of the field. But anyways, the Cavs, I'm sure they knew to a man, we are not as good as the New York Knickerbockers, or at least like, the old, we'd have to win 3 in a row. That means we'd have to exert so much effort tonight to get it to 3-1, then 2 nights later to get it to 3-2, and then to get it to 3, then to try to win the 7th and final game, and there's no guarantee we're going to do it. So what's better? Does it matter if we get eliminated 4 games to none or 4 games to 1 or 4 games to 2? It's less wear and tear on your body. So the Cavs just mailed it in that game. They just said, we have zero interest in competing tonight. And to me, that's... If you're a professional, if you're an amateur, that's one thing, but if you're a pro and you're getting paid and fans are there and the networks are paying money, you just say, well, we're not going to play tonight. It's over. That's wrong. That's just not right. But that all being said, I like this matchup a lot. Look, I think most of the experts think it's San Antonio. We've seen them. They play offense, defense, special teams. They're deep. We know that they had a terrible team in a terrible city with terrible fans and a terrible stadium for a number of years, so they've been picking near the top of they've had the pick of the litter when it comes to the lottery, right? And they got Wembanyama, they got, Vassell, Castle, Harper, Champagnie. These guys are all 21, 22, 24 years old. They're all youngsters, and they're all really good at what they do. And I can understand why most experts are picking San Antonio to win, but the Knickerbockers, maybe they had too easy a time of it. They breezed through the Cavaliers. Can you Google their record in the playoffs this year? Have they lost more than a game or two? I don't think they've lost more than a game or two in the 2026 postseason.
So let's see. Hawks in the first round, they won in 6, so they lost 2 games.
Okay, then I'm wrong. So.
Well, but they swept the 76ers, and they swept the Cavs. So they lost 2 games.
So they're 12-2. Is that right?
It's pretty good.
12-2. Yeah. So, and then they've been off for what seems like ever. They've been off so long that if they decided not to shave until their next series, they all have long beards. They look like Rumpelstiltskin. Right? And then I have to admit, I don't generally have soft spots in my heart for professional athletes. It's like,
you don't idolize, you don't pedestalize.
I don't idolize or pedestalize, and I don't like, I really feel bad for him. But, I've always liked, he was Big Meow, and then he became Bodega Cat. I've always liked Karl Anthony Towns. He was one of those guys, unless behind the scenes he did, and we've just never heard about it. I don't ever remember him demanding a trade to get out of this. This has been a teenage wasteland forever. right? I mean, no one wants to play. Until the Wolves made those back-to-back runs to the Western Conference Finals, and they still might, I don't think it's true anymore, but wasn't there the stat where of the 4 major men's North American sports, NHL, NBA, MLB, and NFL, they had the worst winning percentage of all time of every single team that's ever played. Like a 260 or 280 winning percentage. And, I've seen it. Well, I stopped watching after a couple of seasons, but, I mean, I've been around for it all, right? I mean, it's just been, they were the one-and-dones.
They were the United We Runs.
The United We Runs, they lost, I think it was 7 consecutive first-round series. They qualified, but qualifying for the playoffs isn't that big of a deal. Half the teams get in. They're basically forcing teams to play. If you're that 7 or 8 seed, you're going, I don't want to play anymore. We're not any good. Well, guess what? We got to fill the field. So they make them play. But Big Meow never, as far as I know, he never asked to get out. Right? He never said, I don't want to play here anymore. He stayed through thick or thin and wanted to win here. And then, they finally see some success. They make the Herschel Walker trade to get Stifle Tower, and they get to the Western Conference Finals. Then they lose, and the next year we're going to run it back, right? Unfinished business, just like the Vikings in 2009. They thought they were going to run it back in 2010 and never worked out. And then 3 days before training camp, it's announced that Karl Anthony Towns is traded. A guy that had been here through thick or thin, he was as important to that run to the Western Conference Finals as anybody else. And it's, sorry, Cat, you're out. I don't want to be out. I like it here. I live here. I've been with this franchise forever. I want to see this thing through. Too bad, you're out. And then again, the part where you don't feel sorry, it's not like he has to take a pay cut to go elsewhere. It's, he's still, he's made, how many max contracts has he signed? 6, 7? I mean, he's made, I don't know, how much money has Karl Anthony Towns made? Can you Google that real quick? Just how much money has Karl Anthony Towns made?
According to our AI overlords, which is always correct and never wrong, Karl Anthony Towns has earned approximately $285 million. In NBA salary. Now,
here's what I tell people all the time. $285 million after taxes is more like $150 million, $175 million. Then, of course, he's going to buy a car. I think his mother passed away, but I think he bought her a house. You're going to spend, invest, use, save, flaunt. After taxes, that's $10 million a year. Can you make that last? That's the thing. Can you make that last? So he's had, he's got all the money he needs, but
he knows where his next meal's coming from.
Yeah, and he did. As far as I know, and I never. The only time I ever spoke to him was the beginning of that season, before he was traded. The Wolves were doing. I think they forced their players, I think, to appear on radio shows. We're going to try to pipe it up here. Let's get it pumped up around here. We need you to go on. And Karl Anthony Towns is probably going, really? I don't want to do that. But you're going to go on with the common man. And you go, who? Was the common man. He's on noon. Why do they call him that? Well, because he's the best of the lousiest. Lousiest the best. Great. And so, if you'll remember, do you know about this? This is as famous as Rosen's World Series picture from 1965, where he was an 11-year-old kid. That's a famous picture. Ask Rosen.
Yeah.
It's famous. So Towns likes to play golf, and I said, you and me, mano a mano, a year's salary of yours against a year's salary of mine. You know what he said? I don't think that's a good idea. Since he just said, he goes, that doesn't sound like that'd work. Because I'd be willing to take that chance.
Yeah.
I mean, $32,000 a year. What was he making a year? 50, 60 million, 70, whatever it is. You split that up, however it is. He wasn't willing to take that chance. Do you think it's because he just thought the money was too, the risk reward for him wasn't there, or do you think maybe word travels fast and maybe he was concerned? I've beaten other pro athletes, beat Matt Burt playing golf.
It was before your transition.
Beat Wes Walls.
Yeah.
Thielen and I are going to play golf. Do you think Thielen from the black tees at Prestwick, 6,800 yards, me from the gold tees, 5,800, do you think I could hang with him?
I mean, I'm not familiar with his game.
He's probably a scratch, close to it. One.
Ooh. I think...
Well, think of it.
you could.
Let's say he shoots 70. I shot 76 today. Now 6 is a lot of strokes. But
Are you getting any strokes?
Well, no, I'm forget about that. I'm just saying, do you think I could hang with him? I'm not going to do a strokes thing. We got the yardage difference. That's just the same as that's enough. What I'm saying is, do you think him from the black and me from the gold? I mean, if he shoots 70, that's a nice score, Presser, from the black. Let's say he shoots 200. Well, I shot 4 over. Now, 6 shots is a lot of shots. But when you're old enough to be somebody's grandfather, you're shit. I think I could hang with him.
I mean, I think you're the betting underdog, but I think you could hang with him.
A value bet.
You would be a value bet.
That'd be
That's
value
correct.
Bet. He said he'd play, so we're going to get it done. We'll do that sometime in the near future.
We should do that digital.
I don't know if he wants to go that far.
Well.
He may have just been being nice to me, too, and I said, hey, we should get out and play sometime.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Just let me know. Text my assistant's assistant.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sounds like a great idea. I can hardly wait to go play golf.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, correct. That's probably what he was really thinking. Did I tell you what happened yesterday at the...
No.
So I
saw you hit just a dart.
Yeah, you saw that. Well, you know what? Here's what else happened. So afterwards, the show was over. They were going to have a little buffet food, right? So I hung around for a little bit to sample some of it. And when you have those big glass containers that you pull the little lever and then ice water comes out? They got glass ice water things, right? You pull that little plastic lever. You know what I'm talking about,
I think so, yeah.
Well, I pulled it open and got a cup of water, and I thought the tap had closed. I turned around, and Bob Hagan, time for 2 more, goes, hey, Common. He goes, you need to close that. Water is everywhere. It was like we were ankle deep inside the pro shop with water. Then, of course, some of the kitchen help came out as they were, getting some of the food ready, and they're looking down at the floor, and I go, yeah, some clown just didn't turn off the water. He went that way if you want to catch him. They had to bring a mop out. It was just ugly. I felt terrible, but that's what you do. 5:34, top of the hour. I bet you've got a tease for us, don't you?
I do. Are the Stars leaving again?
The Common Man.
For opinion, for fun, for its lightning rod position.